Hey everybody, what's going on? Jim from Grassroots Piano. Today I'm going to have an informal conversation with all of you about taking a online piano course or taking lessons in person and then also just taking lessons online live one-to-one. And yes, there's a lot of advantages to all of them, and I just wanted to share with you what I've observed as an instructor. And I know that there's going to be some people out there that are saying this is the only way to go, this is how it has to be done. But there's a lot of different situations for everybody. And I just wanted to talk about it. And when I say informally, pretty much this is just me speaking to you like we were at a coffee shop or something. I didn't script anything, and I'm just speaking on the top of my mind as I was driving home from work, thinking about a few things that all of you want to start thinking about. Especially now that it's September and many of us are probably going to have a little more of a routine and get into practicing. I didn't include piano apps because I don't really know too much about them, but the gamification thing has its own world, if you will. I've heard about some apps with other teachers and all that. So this could be an in-depth video, but I'm just going to speak kind of off the cuff, if you will, about what I've observed. All right, so I think there was a time where you would only take lessons in person. You go to the music store and all that. And there are people that will just swear by that, and that's the only way to go. So I'm hesitating right away because since I've had the benefit to work with students and every student is different in their personalities, there's some things to consider. I also have some important thoughts kind of near the end of the video that I want to share because whatever you do, these are the golden nuggets. That's what I have found over teaching keyboard, piano, and other musical worlds, if you will, for the past 34 years now, including this coming up school year. All right, so one of them being, yes, going in person and getting that case of eye to eye listening and the person can stand up and look at your technique and all that. There's a lot of wins to that. In fact, you could probably go to Facebook forums and there will be people that will say that's the only way to learn. But is it? Because I have observed students that take lessons one-to-one and do not improve. And I've also observed students who will take an online class and improve pretty well. And then there's some that have shared with me that they've taken a few steps backwards. So it gets confusing. Where's the benefit and how do we get into this right passage of learning? All right, well, let's talk about the online thing. And I'm going to bounce back and forth if you don't mind, because this again is just me speaking what I have observed as a professional. All right, so with the online course thing, there's some benefits. Obviously, you can save some money. You can take the course at your own pace. And if you live in the middle of nowhere, you have an opportunity to still learn. So that is a lot of pros. Right away, some cons that I have learned from some students. If you're not good with technology, I had to move my whole platform because I could not afford, it was crazy. I could not afford the platform where I was hosting my course. And so these students that I have were awesome. I had to move to another course, but another platform. The technology side can be crazy. But once you get it dialed in, it's fairly easy. And then there's online one-to-one live. I've done a good amount of that and I'm really impressed. Even with the older students, they're doing really well with the camera work and they're doing well with the audio and everything, and they're the comfort of their own home. So that has changed. And as we all know, since COVID, there's a lot that has changed. Do I think any of these modalities are better than others? No, definitely not. What I do know, and this is one of the golden nuggets that I'm already sharing with you, I do know it's up to the energy of the student and to the instructor. When I say energy is how well do you guys get along? How well do you relate to the teacher? That is super important. You can have a teacher where you go in person, but if they have a full studio or if they have a performance schedule, they could easily cancel on you anytime. Or they're teaching a full studio and they can get sick and they might not have time to make up lessons. Now, when I speak about this, I am thinking about adult learners who want to get back into piano playing, learners who might know about some chords and some playing. I'm not talking about people who have intense rep and they're auditioning for a major chamber group or they're going to try to make a career out of it. That's a whole other conversation. I'm talking about someone who needs consistency, curriculum design, and how to get to that learner in regards to where their pitfalls might be, because everyone's different. Some people have a lot of hang-ups with fingering issues, rhythm issues, reading, not wanting to read, and all that. So the motivation of the energy between you and the instructor, really important. That's the benefit of YouTube. Even if you're just kind of just scrolling around, figuring stuff out, at least there's so many channels. And then there's the flip side. It can get a little too daunting when there's too many channels. But that is, I like to say it this way, YouTube is kind of like, if you're doing the piano thing, there's a lot of different channels and they're going to offer a lot of different things. But I do remind everyone this, and it's the similarities to an online course, to in-person, picking a method book. It's about where your interest is and how you're going to get there. Online and also in person, I would definitely suggest that you know upfront on what's happening as far as policies. So there are some online courses where they will offer and honor a 60-day return policy. And that might sound kind of crazy, but that's really important because one, they're showing you that they're really confident. Two, they're going to show you that, look at, I want to set you up for success. And if this isn't for you, then I'll refund your money. It can get tricky with digital products, but what I have learned from other course creators, whether it's piano in this case or other avenues, they will honor it because it's a good business practice. The same thing also when you're taking private lessons, sometimes you're paying for that slot. You're not just paying for the teacher's time. That teacher might have a waiting list. So if you're going to be gone for 2 months, you have two choices. You can pay for that slot, or you can give up that slot, and when you come back, you can see if you can get on the list again, or maybe get a time. So there's a lot of small things that you got to consider. Whatever you do, and I think this is really important, another golden nugget is, where's your motivation? Because an online learner, if you're not internally driven, online learning can be really tricky. Meaning if you got your course, you bought it, and it's just sitting on whatever platform it is, but you're not going to it, it doesn't work. It just will not work. So it's kind of like you're going to be dieting. You have to do the work. You have to hold yourself accountable. What I mean by dieting is like, no one's over your shoulder saying, oh, why are you having more ice cream? Now, when you're going to a piano lesson, let's say every week, you know that deadline's coming up and you're going to have to play for that teacher. The other thing I would encourage is make sure that if you are working online, you can still get access to that teacher. Bigger programs, you buy it and you go and you're done. And you don't ever talk to that teacher. I don't think that's a good practice. I don't think it's healthy for anybody. It should be a relationship, an in-depth way on how to connect and learn. One of my favorite ways is teaching online face-to-face and helping the student out. But that will only work if the student is open-minded enough and wanting to do it. Some will just turn off right away. Some like going to the teacher studio, playing on their piano or playing on their digital piano. Some would rather just play at home and get motivated that way. So yeah, there's really not a perfect answer, but if you leave a lesson or a few lessons not motivated and maybe a little frustrated, time to look elsewhere. Time to look at another teacher, time to communicate with that teacher, because all of that is crucial for your learning. And I do think that is a major golden nugget. In person, online course, or face-to-face on the camera live, you have to make sure you feel excited that you've enjoyed their time and that you're able to feel like you can grow. And by the way, that's a whole other conversation that I want to get into too, on curriculum, growing, what's the right way, because this isn't said much online. Even if you want to just enjoy piano and become a hobbyist, there is going to be a threshold. It can be tough, and that's okay if you feel frustrated. I know online, everyone has their tricks, everyone has their fast ways, but I'll tell you right now, put in the work now and you're going to be set up and enjoy your time. So if you have any thoughts about your experiences, guess what? Put them in the comments if you like. I hope everyone's well and happy September. Bye-bye.